Hey, what's up, guys? Tuki here, back again. This is Rebuilding Hockey Town, and before we take a look at the Canadiens lineup, I did want to quickly talk about our lineup and how it's going to continue to change, potentially throughout the postseason, but definitely before we begin the sim on the next year. Of course, we've already had certain changes, like Tommy Hagman making the jump. You have a third liner in Benoit Giroux playing on the fourth line. Stuart Pasquale has jumped to a second line guy. Every time I leave the mode and start back up, he jumps up in a player role. So here's the problem. We're going to have to put Robert Thomas there. And then Pasquale, it's just, what do you do? We're going to play him on the third line. He has power play time. But it's just a crazy situation for us to be in right now. Cole Lind, also a second liner. And then defensively, Liljegren has dropped to an 83, right? He's the top four defenseman, but he's just not going to make it, guys. He's not going to make it. You look at who our top four is right now, he doesn't have a chance. Unless that top four changes and someone also becomes the top two defenseman, that's locked in. So at the end of the year, Quentin Hughes, he gets traded. Liljegren, he gets traded. And then ideally the third pairing would be Helmerson, Sylvan, Yamelin, Wisniewski. Problem is Helmerson's already a top six guy. The changes are going to continue to happen. The hope though, and David is actually a fourth line guy right now too. So basically the game plan here and the hope is to keep the team the way it is right now, with the exception of putting Pasquale up on the third line, and then Tommy Hagman needs to get some sort of special teams time if he hasn't already. And we'll put him on the second line in Dahlin's spot, the second line power play unit. The team's going to continue to change. I told you guys to be prepared, and it's been happening for season after season now. The hope is, in a way, even if we lose in the first round, I'm all right with that, because it's at the stage where we're very close to having that core locked in, right? You look at who we have coming up to the pipeline forward-wise. Elias Pettersson's not going to make it. He's a fourth liner at best. He's 24 years old. Donaghy will make it. Joel David will make it. We have Kelly Chow, Stewart, Lilia. I mean, we do have some good talent coming up still, but a few of them are a few years away. It's just, it's almost too much talent at this stage. But for now, everything stays the same. The game plan remains the same, and we head into this series against Montreal, I would say, as favorites. Our team, of course, is unreal. It's just I'm anxious to get to the offseason to be able to make these changes. But let's get a look at Montreal's lineup, their top line. Max Pacioretty, Alex Galchenyuk, and Brendan Gallagher. Of course, a great top line. Second line is Arturi Lehkonen with Kyle Turris and Nikita Sherbak. Third line of Jacob De La Rose, Andrew Shaw, and Michael McCarron. Fourth line, Brandon Tanev, Peter Holland, and Paul Byron. It's a good team. Flat out, that's all I can say. That is a really good team. Defensively, it doesn't get much easier. Top pairing of Mikhail Sergachev with Miro Heiskanen. Second pairing of Noah Juleson with Shea Weber, now 37 years old. And third pairing, Nikita Nesterov with Jeff Petrie. They're a really good team. Maybe we're not the favorites by a large margin, especially, too, because Carey Price is still between the pipes at 35 years old, still a 90 overall. They do have a backup goalie in Brendan Rupp, who looks like he is going to be the heir apparent to Carey Price after all this. Jurgen Aho and Caleb Jones are the scratched players. Of course, we have Kujawinski and Trevor Van Riemsdyk, although TVR has dropped tremendously in overall since we signed him in the last episode. So as we begin this series, again, if we lose, I'm fine with it. I just want to get to the offseason and put this team into a better spot. Get rid of Liljegren, get rid of Hughes. So because I'm anxious to do that, we'll win the cup to make that, to get to that, point in time, just to make it much more difficult. That's what EA loves to do. They're going to delay that for as long as they can, just to aggravate me. The one time I don't want to win the cup. Anyway, first period of game one here in round one, and we are scoreless. We held them to 4 shots. Now, if that's not a typical Montreal Canadiens game, I don't know what is. They get outshot 13-4, but they're still tied because they have Carey Price. Can't say the game isn't realistic. Second period, and we do finally get the opening goal. Owen Tippett, of course. Who else would it be? Owen Tippett's a monster. And he gets the opening goal of this game. 1-0 as we start the sim on the third period. 26 seconds later, it is Jonathan Dahlen with the goal. Not too bad. We're up 2-0 here in the third. Nikita Sherbak, though, gets one back for them. Scored on Billy Husso. That's a bit scary. I'm pretty sure he wasn't the starter at the beginning of the game. But with 2.5 minutes to go, can we hold on? Yes, we can. All right, so Jonathan Dahlen ends up getting the GWG. Sherbak made it interesting down the stretch. But we take game one. Carey Price, the first star. No surprise there. Is Ian Scott injured, or did I just make the honest mistake of not having him between the pipes? Let's find out. No injury, at least not for beyond that first game. Let's find out here. Let's find out. Yeah, it just must have been one of those one-game injuries. He made 3 saves and then got pulled in favor of Husso, who made 16 saves en route to a win and a .941 save percentage. All right. Well, regardless, that's good. The team is healthy, and we can move on. But, man, so many questions. So many questions of who do we get rid of. I can't wait, because it's the team build. It's that type of stuff that I love, and that's why I love that my series end up going that route. It's just that constant roster turnover. It's fun for me. It really is. But again, we'll probably not be able to address that for a while. It is game 2, of course, on home ice. Let's do this first period, and it's a goal apiece. Ruzicka and Kyle Turris, the goals. Ruzicka scored from an awful angle, but I'll take it. Much better first period for the Habs that time out. Second period, Max Pacioretty, the lone goal. And, maybe not. Maybe the Habs are still in this. 2-1 as we start the third. Let's see here. Nico Hischier. Hronik. We have a 5-on-3 power play. How do we not score on a 5-on-3 power play with that much offensive firepower? There we go. Tommy Hagman. Not the biggest name on the team, but he gets the job done. We have another power play that we can't do anything with, because power play goals just don't exist in the playoffs. Are we going to overtime? Yes, we are. Sweet. Not really. Not really, but we go to OT in game 2. Tommy Hagman's goal sends us to overtime. Let's do this. Will it end early as it loves to do? Not quite. Who will get the winner? Who will get the winner? Power play in overtime that we can't do anything with. Oh, come on now. Come on, somebody step up. Cole Lind, Svechnikov. Power play for the Habs is killed off, and we are going to double overtime here in game 2. Wow. Didn't expect that after game 1 either, but that's the magic of Carey Price. I mean, both goalies doing incredibly well. Let's see. Something has to give. Second overtime. Will it end early? Power play for the Wings. And again, we can't take advantage of it, but then Ruzicka. In overtime. In overtime. That danger period right after the power play, where we're facing tired penalty killers, and it paid off. What a game for Adam Ruzicka with 2 goals. 35 saves for Ian Scott as he played the entire game. And the Wings have a 2-0 series lead, taking advantage of home ice. That is how you do it. As the Grand Rapids Griffins also finish up their season, finishing with 52 wins. Incredible stuff, but we'll pay attention to them when the time comes. For now, our focus is on the main team as this series shifts to Montreal. It is game 3. First period, and it's Owen Tippett again. Owen Tippett. One of my favorite players I think I've ever had in one of my series. He's so beastly. It's ridiculous. It is absolutely ridiculous. We outshot him 13-6, and we have the 1-0 lead. Second period. And there we go. Svechnikov and Cole Lind. We just had to wait a little bit longer before they showed up. Cole Lind, though, scoring on Rupp. Is Carey Price hurt, or was he just pulled for the game? No way to tell, but we have a 3-0 lead heading in to the third period. It's looking good. A power play goal would definitely ice it, but we can't take advantage of that. No surprise there. I mean, in fairness, our power play unit is just kind of a Frankenstein monster right now with how we're trying to balance the morale system. So I don't necessarily expect it. It's not like we have, it's not like it's like, oh, yeah, our forwards are Derek Dorsett, Pierre-Luc LeBlanc, Laterno LeBlanc, and John Scott. We still have good offensive firepower out there. But regardless, I'm rambling. It's a shutout. A 26-save shutout, might I add, for Ian Scott in Game 3. And the Red Wings are one game away from putting the Habs away. How do you like that? And we'll also find out who Grand Rapids playing in the first round. That would be the Manitoba Moose. The Manitoba Moose. It'll be interesting to see if Price is injured. So I'm actually going to go check the injury report. I imagine it's the same thing like it was with Ian Scott, where he was just kind of like a small injury. No, he's actually out. He is actually out. Never mind. Jeff Petrie also injured too for the Habs. Carey Price legitimately hurt, legitimately injured. And that may be the death knell for the Habs in this series. Let's take a look at their lineup without Jeff Petrie and without Carey Price. It's so weird to see Aaron Ekblad in a Red Wings uniform. That is strange. But here we go. Here we go. So on defense, it is Caleb Jones that is in the lineup. And then, of course, the goaltender, it is Brendan Rupp. Michael McNiven is the new backup. All right. Well, now is the time. Now is the time for the Habs young goaltender to step up in what could be Carey Price's last postseason. You never know. He goes down to an injury, and now the Habs have one hell of a hill to climb. They're on home ice at least, but they're down 3-0 in this series. Can we close them out right here and right now? I certainly hope so. But let's find out. First period here of Game 4, and it's Stewie Pascale. Awesome. Awesome stuff there. As he gets the goal. A little bit nervous about putting him on the third line. A little bit nervous about putting him on the third line. I kind of had to. But it worked out there. And we have the 1-0 lead after the opening 20. Second period, can we maintain that? Who else? Owen Tippett, 38 seconds in. 2-0 lead for the Red Wings. We are 20 minutes away. 20 minutes away from seeing our team advance to the second round of the playoffs, and the Habs just don't have it. They ran into a brick wall known as the Detroit Red Wings. Owen Tippett makes it 3-0, and there it is. There it is. Now, I said I wouldn't mind if we lost, but the fact that Ian Scott just made a 25-save shutout performance there. 2 goals for Owen Tippett. Back 3-0 shutout victories. And we are back in the Eastern Conference. Would it be semifinals? Yeah, technically it would be semifinals. Second round, semifinals. Yeah, there you go. Grand Rapids also up 1-0 on the Manitoba Moose. We'll be able to pay attention to that series because we're obviously going to have to wait to see who we're playing in the next round. The Griffins. The Grand Rapids Griffins up 2-0, but they do lose to Manitoba in Game 3. Game 4, they lose again. Wow, they're going to Game 5. The Griffins blowing it. We are going to get to find out here in Game 7. Let's sim it. Let's go. Wow, they were up 2-0. Manitoba battles back. Let's do this. Let's do this. Game 5, the decisive Game 5. Of course, it only goes to 5 games in the first round, as I don't know if that car outside will pick up on the microphone. Hopefully not, but you never know. Some people just aren't considerate. Anyway, first period here in this decisive Game 5, and that's much better. David, Stewart, and Noah Rod. Second period, oh my God. Well, we have a game on our hands, don't we? We have a game on our hands. It was Sundqvist, David, Stewart, and Rod, 3-1. 4-1 with Stewart, and then Garefa and Potoralski, I should say. All right, well, geez, all right, 4-3. 4-3, and you know what? I'm just going to hit the button, And we're going to overtime. Oh my God, Grand Rapids, what are you doing? You had a 2-0 series lead. Now you're going to overtime in the decisive Game 5. Of course, the first round of the AHL only goes to 5 games. The Griffins have a power play. Are they going to miss out? Are they going to blow this? No, they're not. Thankfully, Joel David on the power play in overtime. The Griffins avoid disaster and move on to the second round. Damn, that was ridiculous. That was ridiculous. So the Griffins move on, which is good. Of course, the Red Wings moved on as well. So let's find out who's it going to be in round 2. And it will be the Ottawa Senators, LA, Chicago, Winnipeg, Colorado, us and Ottawa, Philly, and Carolina. Your Elite 8 is set. And in the next episode, guys, we take on the Ottawa Senators in round 2. As always, if you have any suggestions, any feedback, let me know down in the comments below. Of course, make sure to leave a like on the video if you did enjoy. Subscribe if you haven't already to continue following this series and others. Follow me on Twitter at Tugi24. Join the notification squad to make sure you never miss a video. And I'll see you guys in the next round, where Owen Tippett will continue to rip people apart. That third line will continue to rip people apart. Timothy Liljegren will continue to complain, but that's fine. It's his last season with us anyway. And Ian Scott will continue to prove that he is the real deal with his .978 save percentage.